Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I went out to run some errands and, because of the last video, I'm like, all right, I should try to utilize my time well and, focus on making stuff and doing things and creating and doing what I actually like instead of just going through the motions and, scrolling on TikTok and just doing mindless things. So I'm trying to do less of that. Sorry, again, I don't have a mic and I don't have a tripod in this, so I'm just winging it at this point. I was going between coffee and, an adaptogen drink because we have still some anxiety up in here. Actually, we have a lot of anxiety a lot of the time. So we need like a middle ground. So I found a middle ground. This pop and bottle drink. It's a cold brew, but it also has lion's mane and reishi mushroom. So I'm just like, girl, you better work. So I've been wanting to also just like not talk to talk. I'm never one to do that. I want to talk and also have a point to what I'm saying, and I want some value to come from what I'm saying. So today I just thought about, I'm 25. I honestly didn't really think I'd have a midlife or quarter life crisis. At 25, I was like, I've already been through enough. I've probably been through all of my crises already. But no, I was wrong. I in fact did have a quarter life crisis, and it was the roughest year of my life, or one of them. So I was just thinking over a few, again, sorry if you cannot hear me. I was just thinking of a few important things that, I think people my age or younger should really take to heart or know. And this isn't just like all of these revelations I've had within the past year. I've had to learn them like over some time. So I wrote them down. Unfortunately, I wrote them down in the notes app on my phone, and so I'm gonna have to pause it and go back. And yeah, anyways. Okay, so I'm gonna do them two at a time. The first one is, I think it's important because your 20s and your late teens and going into college, all of that, all of those years are, very anxiety driven. Depression's in there too, a lot of it. I've had my fair share. But it's all, figuring out who you are, and because you don't know shit. you don't know anything. You're trying to figure out life. You're trying to figure out, school and what money is and what relationships are. And, I can say for myself that my 20s have not been fun so far. I don't know about any of y'all's, but my 20s have not been fun. I'm trying, I really wish I could, because I'm not going to be this young again, I get that. And I really wish I could enjoy them a lot more, but, it's life, it's the world we live in, it's the economy, it's, as much as I want to take all of those trips and all of, do all the things I want to do, it's also about survival at this point, so, whatever. But one of the things was honing into people and finding people who share more of your values than just your interests. And I know that will more come like as you get older, because I'll still like gravitate towards people who I just share like some common interests with, and it's fun to hang out, whatever. I'm not saying like you shouldn't hang out with those people, but I think as you get older, the people that stick around and really care about you and still want to do life with you are the ones that normally have really strong common values with them and morals. I find I'm 25. I don't really know anything yet at this point, but I feel like that is something that I've noticed, is there's a common ground on the morals and values point, something that goes a lot deeper than just, we like volleyball and we like going to Target together and, like all those kind of surfacey things. Those people, I feel like, are more likely to come and go. So that was one thing. That was one thing I thought. And that goes actually with, friends and partners. That can be applicable to both platonic friends and lovers, I feel like. Even more so with lover, like if you're wanting to get into a long-term relationship, that should absolutely be the thing you should be focusing on, not just the fact that you guys like sports or whatever. To me, that seems like common sense, but to a lot of people it might not be. So definitely on the long-term dating relationship, life partner, whatever side of things, yes, you should have the same values and morals, I believe. The second one is focus on, again, take this with a grain of salt, focus on especially the people that are maybe just out of high school going into college, or honestly any stage of life where you find yourself in a position of maybe trying to find a career path, building a career, finding what you want to do. Honestly, it could really be any stage of life. I think the first step is picturing what you want your life to look like and the things you personally really value and want to see in your own life versus what you'd maybe just want your career to look like. Because like the two go hand in hand. Our brain isn't really meant to just like split and keep them separate. No, like we're humans, they bleed into each other, and so one is very much going to affect the other. And so if you go into a, say you thought a certain job like being an attorney or something sounded really cool, and you go into that and it turns out to be a really high stress career field, and it makes you a ton of money, whatever, but at the same time, like that's going to affect your personal life. It's going to leave you maybe with less time to see people, or just less time in general. You could be working 50 to 60 hour weeks and realize, I don't really have a social life, or I can't really see my friends and family as much, or like any of that. Like, you get my point of one does affect the other. And so I feel like in order to figure that out, and maybe the career field is not even like for you at this point. I feel like I'm seeing so many videos of people that are just like, I'm done working. Screw this, I'm done working, which is fine. I'm like, we need more good parents, so that's the most important job, right? But I feel like that's how we should be looking at it. So, you know, if you want maybe a more peaceful, slow life and have more time for, you know, figure that out first and figure out those things that you really want to keep in your life first, and then go based off of that to figure out, okay, so based off of that, how, like, what would be feasible in terms of a job to keep those things in my life? What would allow me to keep those things in my life? I mean, some people I feel like sometimes don't even realize that until much later, after they've gone through maybe all the hustling and the prestigious university into this career, and then eventually, you know, 15 years down the line, realize they hate it and they're completely restarting. And so I feel like maybe getting that early or figuring that out early could save people a ton of time. Or just like give perspective or something. Again, I'm a 25-year-old. Do I actually know what I'm talking about? No, but I observe and I try to listen. I try to listen more than I speak, which is a start. So, yeah. Okay, so number 3 I thought about is looking for, again, going back to the peace theme, looking for peace over excitement. And again, this applies to a lot of different areas in life. Is the music loud? Sorry, I'm in a shopping area and realize there is music in the back and I don't know. Whatever. Peace over excitement can apply to relationships, can apply to almost anything. But I think, because adrenaline and excitement and all that is very, you know, it's very fleeting. It's very come and go, and I don't think people should be basing a lot of important decisions off of just like what makes them feel the rush, which I know more people on the younger side will probably be more prone to like make those decisions and follow whatever gives them the adrenaline rush or like makes them feel something. Which, like, it's, again, I'm not saying just kind of avoid that altogether, but I'm saying more in the sense of, can everyone who's loud get out of my area right now? Okay. In the sense of like more important decisions, more long-term decisions, because what is this? I don't understand. Some white bro on a moped is just going in circles in the parking lot, having no idea. I don't think he knows what he's doing. Because you know, in the long term, like having that peace, having less things in your life that promote just a ton of anxiety, and, you know, peace is what's gonna lead to just more contentment, and like that, and that's what people want. That people want just like long-term peace in their soul. Like, people crave that. I know that for a fact. Just because of how insane and just tumultuous life can be. Like, that's what people crave. And so you do not want a ton of people and things in your life that just create chaos, create the opposite of that, which I also was reminded of this year. Sorry, now I'm apparently having issues with my phone storage, so I can't edit on my laptop, and now my phone is having problems. Anyways, whatever. Did you understand what I was saying? The last point, I think I was talking about peace and long-term contentment, and like the older you get, the more you go through, but the more you also realize, like, it is not worth it. It is not, like, that person who maybe gives you a rush of adrenaline, adds some excitement to your life, makes things a little bit less boring maybe, but adds an insane amount of anxiety, an insane amount of just emotional turmoil. You find yourself like crying all the time, like, you know, it's not worth it. It's not worth it in the long run. And like I said, I went through that the hard way. So that is one point. I believe I had one more. Let me check. Okay, so the other one was, I think it's super wise to value, respect, and listen to older and wiser people's opinions. There's too much going around. There's too much going on around me. I think that in and of itself is super wise, but listening to too many people's thoughts and opinions, and usually not all of those opinions are coming from older and wiser people. A lot of times they're just opinions from your friends, more than likely. But I think it is wise to respect certain opinions, and opinions that you know are coming, again, from a person who has gone through more life, or you know for a fact that your guys' values are on the same page. All that stuff factors in. But if you're taking from such a large pool of opinions, and you're, it's almost like overcompensating in that area of eldest children, or I don't know. I can relate to that. Wanting, or perfectionists, or all of you people, you guys can relate to what I'm saying. Like, wanting to do things right the first time. And some of that is just how we grew up, and maybe how our parents kind of raised us, especially if you're from a more conservative household, I think. But then sometimes we overcompensate in that area, and we listen to too big of a pool of opinions, and the longer you kind of like appease those people, and trying to piece all of those people's opinions and thoughts into your own life, like, the more you're just gonna end up living based on what they want and what they think, and it'll probably cause you to forget what you think or feel or value, or any of that stuff. So I think there's a balance. I think there's a balance between the two, of still being wise and knowing who to trust and who to go to for things that you very much need help on. But I also feel like you know, that you are still a person with your own sets of those, and those should be considered as well. I mean, it's your life and your decisions, and you are ultimately the one that is, you know, making them, calling the shots. Even though ultimately, like, let's be honest, God is calling the shots, but you are voicing the shots. I don't know what I'm saying, but you get it. Oh, and back to, like, my point before this, like, about the whole peace thing. And this is even confirmed by, like, the more I listen to, like, interviews from Soft White Underbelly. It's a big channel on YouTube. Some of you might know what it is or have listened to it. But the more I listen to interviews on there of real people going through the hardest circumstances and have had the hardest lives, and some of them have even said it in the interviews, but like, real peace, like, it confirms to me real peace does just come from God. Like, it, again, some of them will, like, flat out say that in their interview. The only reason they have peace is literally just because of God. They've gone through hell and back, and they fully know that can't find it anywhere else. And yeah, I fully believe that too. Even, yeah. I don't know why I wanted to go back to that, but I thought I really wanted to, like, snip that in there too. I'm not, you know, I'm not someone who wants to go their whole life trying to figure out and chase where I think that peace and contentment come from, when, like, deep down I already know, you know. I've seen and listened to a lot of horrors that this world brings, this life brings, and, you know, to me it's kind of obvious, to some people it's not, and they, you know, people still have doubts and confusions, but to me it makes sense. To me, like, that clicks. So I just wanted to add that in there. But anyways, yeah, those are my 2 cents for the day in the Target parking lot. I'm 25 and a half, and I'm praying that the last half of this year is a lot better than the first half. But we'll see. But anyways, I'm gonna finish this. Hope everyone has a great rest of their day, and hopefully you made it to the end. I don't know. It's not like my opinion is of huge importance, but again, those are my 2 cents. So, cheers.